We just got done with our morning fasted cardio. We hit 30 minutes on the Stairmaster, which means now it is time to finally eat. And today's a high day, so I get a little bit more food than usual, and it's a perfect day to introduce you to something that I have been eating religiously since we started this prep together. This is what I kind of coined as my Mexican stir-fry recipe. Now what makes it Mexican, and you'll see in the ingredients here in a second, is that it's basically taco ground beef and it's all stir-fried together with an egg, kind of like fried rice. And the vegetables are stir-fry veggies. Now, y'all are gonna have to let me know in the comments if you try this, if this is disgusting or if I'm just starving on prep right now and I find it really good. But personally, macro-wise, I think this is pretty good. It's got ground beef, it's low in fat. You can eat this when you're bulking, you can eat this when you're cutting. Pretty versatile recipe. I'm honestly really excited to get to the off season and start hammering this recipe in a much greater quantity. But for the purposes of this video and kind of trying to show you the macros on exactly what I have in front of me right here, I'm going to pop the macros up right here for this exact recipe and what we're going to go through. Y'all know one of my big things is optimizing your eating so that you're eating as much clean and whole food as possible. And this is definitely one of those recipes that will help you out. So let's get to it. So starting off with the ingredients, I'm gonna show you the ingredients based off the macros that I had put on the screen just now, but just know that you can alter the amounts. And as a matter of fact, in the off season, when I'm trying to gain weight again, I'm probably gonna double a lot of the quantities of these ingredients. But for right now, here's what we got. So definitely go to the store and pick up some kind of this frozen stir-fry blend. This actually tends to be my favorite one. This one is the Hong Kong stir-fry, and you could get this one at Wegmans, but I know Costco sells a really big bag of another stir-fry blend, so pick some of that up. We're also going to use 6 ounces of ground beef. Now I prep my ground beef every week just because it takes so long to cook. So we got 6 ounces in here that we're going to measure out. We need 5 ounces of white rice. If you have a rice cooker, this is super easy, just scoop it out of there. We're going to use half a cup of bone broth, this mild salsa verde, and some taco seasoning. Now this taco seasoning is to season your ground beef with. So I'm not actually going to cook any ground beef in this video because mine is already made, but just know that I did season my ground beef with taco seasoning. And last but not least, we also have 2 eggs. Very simple ingredients, very clean ingredients. You know, it would be better if the vegetables weren't frozen, but all of this is still super clean eating, still really low fat, really good macros. And like I said, this portion for me is a cutting size portion. So, you know, I'm probably going to maintain weight here, but what I would do is I would adjust the rice portion if you're really looking to bulk up. So this is 5 ounces right here. I would eat maybe like 10 or maybe even 15 in the off season. But yeah, let me show you how everything is cooked together. My favorite thing about this is a lot of times on prep, the food can be really dry. And most of the time sauces contain a lot of calories, whether it's fat calories or it's sugar calories and stuff like ketchup and stuff like that. So, you know, I will preface this recipe by saying the one thing that's not perfect is it is a little bit higher in sodium. But for me right now, having a little bit higher sodium versus intaking excess fat or carbs from sauces is a trade-off that I am willing to make, because sodium at the end of the day is probably not going to affect my weight in the long run. For cooking, we've got a big pan here to mix everything together. We're going to put it on medium-ish high heat, and we're going to spray it down with some avocado oil. I personally prefer avocado oil because it burns at a little bit higher of a temperature. So the first thing I put in here is the vegetables and the ground beef and the eggs, and I kind of separate them into 3 quadrants, as you can see in 3, 2, 1. There we go, looking great. So all of this was already pre-prepped for me. Don't forget to season your ground beef with taco seasoning. I don't want any angry comments saying that the meal tastes terrible because you forgot to season your ground beef beforehand. That is prepped for me. The veggies are in there, the eggs are in there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the eggs cook till they're about like 50% done, and then I'm gonna mix it all together. Another optional step here is if you have another seasoning that you really like. So recently I bought this one at Costco. This one is so freaking good. This is the Kinder's caramelized onion butter seasoning. If you have another seasoning that you like, you can gently sprinkle some on there for a little bit of extra flavor, but totally optional. I'm gonna do it, but just wanna let you guys know. Now that the eggs are done on the bottom, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix everything up here. So start scrambling the egg and then just start mixing everything together. Great. Now I scoop all of this into one side of the pan, and here I'm going to add my bone broth. Bone broth is such a great way to make your food wet because it doesn't have, like I said, if you were to look at the macros on bone broth, all it has is protein and sodium. Great cheat code. Salsa is another great cheat code. So if you look at the macros on salsa, all it is sodium pretty much. So we're gonna add our 2 servings of salsa here. Great. Turn the heat up a little bit. Mix all of that together. Now that it's been heated up, there's no longer cold salsa or cold bone broth in there anymore. All we do is scoop it onto our rice and then we're ready to go. Option at the end to drizzle on some of your favorite hot sauce. I'm gonna drizzle on a little bit of this black truffle hot sauce that we bought yesterday. It's been pretty good. Honestly, I'm just so hungry right now that you could put anything in front of me and I would think it's amazing. But this for sure, my favorite meal. I have been eating this twice a day, every single day, in varying quantities based on whether it's a high day or a low day for me. Let me know if you try it. I also have other kind of weird recipes that I have been using throughout the years that are like low calorie. Most of the time, like I said, there's going to be a trade-off. Not every meal is going to be perfect if it tastes good. You are either going to have fat in it, excess fat, excess carbs, or excess sodium in it. This one is a little bit higher on the sodium side, although I don't think it's the end of the world. Still way better than eating out because the foods that you eat out are way higher in saturated sodium. Like you could get a burger and it's going to be 70% of your daily value. But let me know if this is something you guys want to see. I know this was a quicker YouTube. I honestly think I might try to make my YouTube videos a little bit faster. If you enjoyed this style of video, if you want more recipes, if you want more nutrition stuff, just comment it down below. I'm going to get to eating this because I'm starving right now and then I have to hit legs later, but I will catch you guys in the next one.